Today, we thought we'd answer your burning questions.
Remi, if you could set Alisha up with another influencer besides Zayn, I wish someone just shook Alisha. I want to be like the hot mom. I want to be Sierra Furtado. Just go on dates.
You should date him or anybody, or if you have a brother.
So she's really desperate. So like anybody works.
The following podcast is a Dear Media production.
Pretty basic. So this is going to sound a little weird, but recently I have updated my oral hygiene routine. Mouth care is super important to me, and so is having fresh smelling breath. And Smart Mouth mouthwash has been the perfect addition to this routine. I feel like I am always thinking about my breath. If I just had coffee or if I need a mint, if I need gum, I'm always worried about it. And Smart Mouth is the only mouthwash that I found that actually keeps my breath fresh for 24 hours. And all it takes is 2 quick rinses a day. You guys know I cannot resist garlic. I love it so much. But garlic's one and only flaw is how it leaves your breath smelling. But ever since I started using Smart Mouth, I don't even think about it anymore. I'll rinse in the morning and I'm good to go for the entire day. It's like my little secret weapon. What's really cool about Smart Mouth is the science behind it. The mouthwash has this dual chamber bottle that keeps 2 different solutions separate until you're ready to use it. When you pour it into the cup, they mix together and activate this smart zinc technology. That's what actually eliminates bad breath and keeps it away. It doesn't just mask the problem, it stops it at the source by getting rid of sulfur gas, which is actually what causes bad breath. Did you know that? So I'm over here eating all the garlic I want, and I'm still confident that my breath will be fresh. I also love that Smart Mouth was developed by a dentist, so I know that I can trust it. It's also proven to work 12 times longer than other brands, which makes it even more worth it. I've tried a lot of different mouthwashes in the past, but nothing has lasted like this. Smart Mouth also has these little mouthwash single packs that are so convenient. You can throw it in your purse, take it on the go, keep it in the car, whatever it is that you need for on the go. If you're like me and you want to make sure your breath stays fresh no matter how much garlic you eat, definitely try Smart Mouth. You can find it at CVS, Walgreens, and Walmart, or just go to www.smartmouth.com/prettybasic to get a special discount on your next purchase. That's www.smartmouth.com/prettybasic. Your mouth will definitely thank you. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Pretty Basic. I'm Remi.
And I'm Alisha Marie. And today we're really excited. These are some of our favorite episodes that we ever do. And it's been a minute since we've done a lovely Q&A with you guys. And here's the thing. I feel like we do, I love these because I love feeling close to you guys. And like, there's certain things that you'll ask. I'm like, have I not talked about that on here? Because that's my memory. It's so bad.
Or there's things where I'm like, oh, I wouldn't think that'd be interesting to talk about, but obviously someone thought to ask it.
No, literally us, after we record every single week, we're like, was that interesting?
Literally every single time. If there are any specific topics that you guys want us to cover on the pod, let us know down below. Obviously, we can keep up with the updates and all the fun things. But today we thought we'd answer your burning questions and just chit chat a little bit.
Yeah. So how are you? Actually, this was a question I saw. It was Alisha and Remi, how are you really? And I actually think that's perfect.
How are you really?
How are you really? We used to say that all the time.
You go first.
Okay. So actually I'm doing good right now. I feel like a few weeks ago I was kind of down bad and like a little depressed and a little like, meh.
I feel like we didn't talk about that on the pod at all.
I feel like it comes in waves.
It goes in waves, yeah.
Yeah. I think just like being more busy has helped. I know that's not necessarily fixing the problem, but I remember hearing this years ago when it comes to like anxiety or depression, like years and years and years ago, when we were cavemen, like you didn't have time to think because you were just focusing on like working and surviving. The way that I was just sitting on the couch for like every like day for the week, unless we were filming or here or something, I would pretty much just be like sitting. And I'm like, we all sit and have too much time to think. Like, I don't think our bodies are meant for that.
Also,
humankind's not meant for that.
Just scrolling, like TikTok for me makes me really unwell.
Like reactive.
It's just, I feel like very reactive. I feel like I'm also just like waiting for something bad to pop up, something to make me feel sad or feel upset or just something like I'm always on edge waiting. And more times does a TikTok or something make me feel, even like TikTok drama, which obviously like for sometimes can be fun. Sometimes it makes me feel like gross after a while. I'm like, this is actually like this doesn't make me feel good, productive, anything like that. So I feel like it just often makes me feel kind of like slumpy after.
1000%. The past few months I've been more into my do not disturb. Because it's so weird. Like, I feel like it helps me when I am in that very reactive state and I feel like anything can kind of like set me off or like make me upset. I'm like, let me put on do not disturb, because even though it makes no sense, this is girl math, in my head it's like I don't see it because it's on do not disturb.
I think that's
but good. I still see it.
Oh,
but
are you still like actively looking?
Not as much. Like, obviously I'm on my phone a lot, but I'll either It's just, it feels like there's a barrier between me and whatever it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so weird. It's girl math. It's not there.
Well, when I watch shows or something, or if I really need to just like log out, I'll put my phone in a different room and then go watch a show. Like not, because so often I'll be on watching a show and I'll just be scrolling my email or like looking online for something or like watching TikToks literally at low volume, reading captions when like I'm like watching a movie.
I know Cal gets pissed because Ashley gets pissed. Like that's
Cal
her way
gets
of bonding.
so mad, yeah.
She's like, no, let's watch TV. And she's like, well, you're gonna be on your phone. I'm like, but I'm here.
We started a new show the other night and he looks at me and goes, this is what couples do. They watch shows together without their phone.
Oh my God.
But it's really good. It's called Bad Monkey.
Monkey.
Are you
Ashley
watching?
loves it.
Oh, it's
I've
really
watched
good.
a few
I'll talk to her
episodes.
about
She
it.
wants me to start from the beginning because I didn't watch the very first one.
It's good. It's good. It's with Vince Vaughn on Apple TV, and I love it.
It's his first TV show. That's
Ever?
what Ash said, apparently. He's usually a movie guy.
I've honestly been getting really scared because like I get scared of everything. It's not that
also,
scary.
yeah, now you used to not. Now you're watching like horror docs.
That's scary, right?
Yeah, I'm so proud of you.
So I just keep remembering the breakup with him and Jennifer Aniston,
Yes.
and then I'm like, he was in the breakup. You're fine.
He's so funny.
He's in the breakup. Yeah, Wedding Crashers. He's fine. He's fine. He's fine.
Oh my God, Wedding Crashers. I forgot about that.
I love Wedding Crashers. Okay. Overall, though, doing better.
Overall, I feel good now. I just definitely feel like we're back in therapy. My therapist was gone for like a month on vacation. And I was like, it's fine. I don't need her anymore. And then the second a month happened, I was like, hi, are you back? My life's falling apart. No, it wasn't. But it's been good. So I've been seeing her for the past few weeks.
Good.
And then I talked to my psychiatrist because I actually talked about this on a vlog. I lowered my medication for my anxiety down. And it's been so good all year until I feel like the past few weeks. It was the first time ever that I was like, I regret not regret, just like I definitely won't be going lower.
Do you think you'll go back up, or where are we at with that now?
Right now I feel good enough to like stay. I'm not opposed to going up, but it's just I've also been studying a lot about like the weekly like period cycles, the what's it called? Like your phases.
Oh, your phases. Yeah.
The follicular, luteal.
Yeah, luteal, follicular,
ovulation and menstrual.
Yeah.
And it's like, it is great. I came across one of this guy asking a doctor. He was like, pretend I'm dumb and I know nothing about periods. He was like, to be honest, I don't know much. All I know, and he was like early 30s probably. He was like, all I know is from what I've overheard from my sisters or like my mom, but I really don't know anything. And it was so interesting seeing him react to this doctor explaining. She was like, so during week 3, you know, she's going to be more like, tell her that she's beautiful, even though she like, he was like, okay, he's taking notes. He's like, okay, tell her she's beautiful. She was like, now listen, she's not going to like you even saying that. Cause she's going to be like, what do you mean? I'm bloated. I'm this. She was like, tell her anyway. And so he was like, okay, so make sure I tell her no, like she's wrong. And I'm telling her that she is beautiful. Like, it was just so interesting. One, seeing a guy actually care. Two, and so like seeing that, but then also her being like, oh yeah, this week she's going to feel more sexy, wine and dine her. Like, I'm like, oh, is it that scientific?
Do you feel like, did you like resonate with what they were saying?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah. Especially right before my period, I'm always like, I'm depressed.
Really?
And then, yeah. And then afterwards I'm like, oh, it's just my period, which is never just because it's hormones, but it's just so weird how every week I feel different. And there's one week where I feel snatched and there's another week where I have so much water weight. I feel very like sensitive to each week.
That's so interesting. I feel like I'm still so new to having a period that I haven't like felt anything like that personally. Like I haven't gotten in tune yet. All I know is I feel pain when it's happening and bloated, and then that's kind of it. Like that's all I've come to terms with like so far.
Wait, that is weird because I forgot that you just started being more regular.
Yeah.
So you may not even feel it as much. I don't know. Maybe you do or don't. I don't know.
I'm also on a medication with my doctor where because periods with PCOS can be really, really painful. So I'm on a medication that like makes them really light. So if anything, I just feel kind of bitchy when I'm on my period.
On or before or both?
I think on. I think when I'm actually like on my period, I feel like really irritated and like I have a very short fuse.
Like irritable.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I didn't pick up on that till recently.
Oh my God.
But I'm like, why am I in a mood today? But I'm like, this is all still so new to me that I didn't know.
No, it's crazy.
But I'm excited to get to that point where I could like track it like that.
But I will say, even me, I was in 6th grade when I got my period. I remember thinking that was so young, but it really isn't. But I remember I was like one of the first girls in my grade to get one.
Really?
Yeah, it sucked.
How old? Because I think I got mine in 6th grade too. Isn't that kind of like the normal time to start?
I think that's what my mom and Ashley also started. So it's usually genetic, but I mean, I had a lot of friends who didn't start till they were like even like sophomores or juniors in high school. Yeah. I remember I had this blue Hurley jacket that I wore literally every day. And it had a zipper here and I like had a pad there one time and then someone felt it and they're like, what's that? And I was like, mortified.
Trauma.
I know.
When you started, when you were young, was it regular every month after that?
Yeah, it's always been pretty regular.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But my point being, ever since 6th grade, like I'll still be like, why am I moody? And then my period comes. So you never even get it like down. Like I will literally be I'll be crying. I'll be like, why am I so emotional? And then I'm like, oh, my boobs are sore. That's my first, I feel like Karen and Mean Girls, my period boobs get so good. So good.
I saw this girl that was talking about, she was like, maybe it was Jaclyn Hill. It was someone that was like, you need this thing. It like gives you she's talking about bee pollen.
Oh.
She said that bee pollen makes your boobs bigger. It was Jaclyn Hill. Apparently it does. And she said that it actually works. And she was like, she's been doing it every day. And she's like, my boobs look like when I'm on my period.
Do you eat it or like put it like on?
You eat it.
Oh.
Bee pollen.
I love it on my acai bowls.
Yeah. I feel like it always comes on acai bowls. But I think she's been like, it's this one brand. I think it's like the Beekeeper's Friend or something like that. And it's like a glass jar. And yeah, she like ate all of it.
How do you even like, yeah, so I'm used to my boobs kind of fluctuating too. So I'm like, how do you, anyway, I don't know how I got on that. How are we really? Depression, mood swings, period.
Yes. What do you think made you feel that, like get to that place?
I think honestly being a little more busy and like being out of my head. That's where I was going with that. Like
you weren't busy, so you feel like you got to that place, and then getting busier has gotten you out of it?
Yeah, I feel like instead of thinking about doing something, just doing it. I don't want to do a lot of things, but instead of sitting and like marinating in that and like ruminating on that of like, oh, I don't want to do it. Oh my God, what's it going to be? Like, I'd rather just stay home and like that spiral.
That's your thought process to do? Yeah. Wait, walk me through that.
Let's say it's like an event, right? I made plans to go when I was feeling great. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so social. Yes, let's go.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, okay, it's like the day before, and I'm like, oh, I have to go do that tomorrow. I'm like, I don't really want to. And then the day comes, and I'm like, fuck. I hope it cancels. I hope they cancel. How do I cancel without it being weird? Oh my God, I'd rather just stay home. Oh my God, like everything in me like wanted to go then, but like now I'd honestly just like rather be home with Rosie, but I don't want to cancel. And then I'm like, it's okay, Alisha, you can do it. And then versus just like, when you have a jam-packed day and you're like, I don't have time to think about my next thing until it just like is there and happening. Yeah.
Or just waking up and being like, I don't really want to go anymore. I'm going to cancel, or I'm going to like, that sounds like really exhausting to get to that place.
Most of the time I want to cancel. So when I've been trying to like push myself outside of my comfort bubble, obviously I know that comes with like growing pains of like, of course I'm not going to want to go. Even, oh my God, prime example, I was so excited to go, but the Porsche event that I went to a while ago, I obviously was like, oh my God, I want to go to this because it's such an amazing opportunity. But I like started being like, oh my God, I wonder who else is going to be there. Am I going to have social anxiety? Like, oh, I just can't wait for it to be done. And I know I'll be proud that I went, but I was like, I know I'm going. I know I'm going to go. There's no question about that.
It's just the what ifs.
But it's the what ifs, and then it's the dreading. It's like the Monday scary or the Sunday scaries of like, and then overthinking everything. And then finally, but then once it was done, I was like, oh my God, I'm having a blast.
Yeah.
But like, I definitely was like secretly hoping it would get canceled. But I was like, I can't because it's such an amazing opportunity.
Oh.
Exhausting, bitch.
Yeah, that sounds tiring.
It's just harder when you're trying to make the active steps to not. Like, obviously I could stay home. I've done that before, but there's a reason why I want to push myself to like get out of my comfort bubble and like grow. So those growing pains are really hard.
I'm proud of you though. Do you feel like you want to cancel these plans because of like tiredness or just social anxiety? Does it kind of change depending on what event it is?
Actually, there was a party like a few weeks ago that I wanted to go to, but no one else I knew was going. There's people I knew, but like you couldn't go, Ollie couldn't go. And I was like, okay, Alisha, you should go by yourself because like you should. But then the other part of me was like, I don't want to go by myself. And then I also knew, I was like, I'm in that reactive mindset right now. I'm going to be overthinking everything. I'm going to leave feeling like shit. And I was like, it's just better for me not to go. Like, it's just better for me not to.
Really?
Yeah. But I wanted to.
Yeah.
But it was more of I think it'll make me feel worse than better than going versus like the Porsche thing. I was like, I know once I'm done, I'll feel good. Like I accomplished that and I did that.
Also, like you're an introvert. So going to everything, that's too much. That's asking too much of you from yourself.
But I wish I was like just a little social butterfly.
I'm like an extrovert, but I don't want to go to a lot of stuff either.
Yeah.
Like I don't think you should be hard on yourself because you can't make it to everything you want to go to.
Oh my God.
I would never go to an event alone. I don't think I've ever gone to an event alone.
You know who's been doing that? Ashley. She's been killing it.
I'm like, that's so much further down down the road for me, if ever.
Right?
I feel like a lot of people can relate to how you were feeling. I feel like we've all been there, and it's a bit of a journey. Do you have any little tools or tactics or things that kind of helped you get out of your slump?
I've mentioned this before, but I've been into reading more lately. Honestly, just being off my phone. I know I've said that, but I think that's one of the main things for sure. And just being more mindful and aware of what I'm letting into my brain, what I'm putting on my body, being very aware of just how sensitive we are as people. Literally me in my pink sweatset right now.
The way I work from home, but I cannot wait for my workday to end, walk right upstairs to my bedroom and put on something soft, like my cotton, usually my cotton yoga pants and a cotton sweatshirt, something that's just so soft, feels so nice on the skin. It makes me feel nice and comfy when I blast the AC in my house and just cozy up on the couch with all the dogs.
Speaking of being comfortable, we're so excited because this episode is sponsored by Cotton.
Yes, and Cotton is inviting us to slow down, be more mindful, and choose comfort. I mean, so much of my house and my life is made of cotton, whether it's, my clothing, to my bedding, to my other home goods in my
Also
life.
the fact that it's just so versatile and long lasting. You just can't go wrong with it.
When I'm buying a new sweatshirt or something and it's 100% cotton, boom, in the cart.
It feels like a hug.
Cotton is a natural, sustainable fiber that just makes everything feel so right.
And everyone's like, Alisha, you only wear sweatpants. I'm like, yeah, because I can't think, especially sitting here, for so long, I'm I just want to be comfy. And then that way my brain can focus where it needs to be versus being oh, this is itching me.
Absolutely. I mean, we talked about this on Basically Unfiltered. Technically, you can feel your clothes on you at all time.
Yes.
Especially if something's itchy, you're going to feel that on you at all time. Cotton, you feel nothing but a nice, soft, sweet fabric rubbing up on your skin.
Also, with fall coming up, I don't know why, it's always fall when I do my closet clean outs. And so I've been starting to tackle that entire process. And as I mentioned, certain things make me itchy. It doesn't matter how cute something is. If I don't feel comfortable in it and if I don't feel like it serves me, I'd rather just find a better home for it because it's just going to sit and collect dust in my closet. And you know what pieces always make it through my closet clean outs? The cotton ones. I'm not even kidding. I feel so good in them. I just need to learn, Alisha, that's all you like. You like being comfortable over anything. And there is still cute clothes. You don't have to sacrifice being comfortable and not looking cute. You can still be cute. Just get cotton clothes. When is it going to click?
I love fall so much. It's truly my favorite season because I love the weather. I love the food. I love all the activities. And I feel like it's just a good time to slow down and embrace that cozy vibe. I also think we need to take a moment to reset, be more mindful, and choose things that make us feel good.
No, seriously, whether it's the sweats that I'm wearing right now or even my favorite jeans. I swear the jeans that I can actually wear all day long and I don't feel like I have to rip them off the second I get home, those are always made of cotton and they're made to last and I love them.
It's more than just fabric. It's part of creating those mindful moments.
I know it sounds cliche, but it is really important just to find clothes that make you comfortable and serve you and make you feel the best that you can possibly be. So discover the fabric of now at thefabricofourlives.com.
Thank you so much to Cotton for sponsoring this episode.
But enough about me. How
Sorry,
are you
I
really
had a lot of follow-up
doing?
questions. I've been not great, honestly. I don't act surprised,
I don't know.
I'm okay. I'm really busy with work stuff, which is really nice, and I feel very blessed. And it's honestly been a lot on my plate lately. But as a scheduler, we've been sticking to the schedule, and things have been good. And I kind of been taking things day by day. But personal life stuff has kind of been not fabulous. I've got some family stuff going on, which I kind of addressed in the last episode, but really working on it through therapy. And I am very proud of myself. I'm actually going to my parents' house tomorrow to have a nice adult conversation with them about setting boundaries, which I'm still working through, but I'm doing that tomorrow. So if I have updates, I'll come back with that. And, wedding stuff has been very stressful.
A lot. I don't know. I keep telling everyone, I'm I don't know how she does it.
Thank you so much.
No, oh my God.
Honestly, you, Cal, everybody in my life is so supportive and amazing. Even my parents who, even though we're going to set a boundary, very supportive, the best ever.
That's good. That's healthy though, that you care enough to set boundaries. That's what I've been trying to learn. Boundaries are good and they're healthy, and that means you care about the relationship.
For sure.
Because if you didn't care, you just be whatever.
Setting a boundary also, I've had something on my mind that I've been wanting to talk to my parents about for a very long time. And it's literally small. And I even have gone back and forth with myself, I don't really need to go. I really don't need to do this. I don't have to do this. But I want to, and I should. So I'm going to go do that. But I don't know, as time goes on, you kind of just like start to like diminish things in your brain. You're like, whatever, it's fine. You put it back, file it back for later. But I'm going to do that. And I'm excited for the outcome. And I know they'll be receptive and I know it'll be good. And this is like a part of growing up and not holding resentment towards any relationships, especially your parents. And a lot of it, I'm like working on my inner childhood stuff that I'm trying to fix. So that's been good. But the wedding stuff has been very frustrating. And I've kind of mentioned it a little bit here and there. And I won't go too into it, but there's just definitely people have a lot of opinions when you're planning a wedding. And weddings just like, everybody always says it, but it's like so dramatic for no goddamn reason. It's a weekend. We'll all be fine.
It's a party.
Yeah. And so, there have been like a lot of things going on behind the scenes that just like are all fine now. But I'm like, that didn't need to happen.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But it's all good. Other than that, I've been good.
No, like I feel like we're both equally busy with both podcasts. So I understand that busy, but then you have like 5 more things happening that I'm not doing. Like personally for you that I'm not even doing. And I'm like, I don't know how you do it.
Thank you. Scheduling, calendars, and planning everything out.
Oh, that's why I'm always
That's
like,
how I
whatever's
keep
best
saying.
for Remi's schedule.
No,
I'm like, I can move
appreciate
anything. I
I
really
appreciate
can.
it. It'll be a next couple busy months, but everything's good.
Mine's like filming TikToks. Okay, I can reschedule it. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. Like,
No, don't keep
on
the
me.
people waiting.
I can reschedule.
No.
Don't worry. I'll pull one for the team.
No. I have those days too, though.
I know, but my point being, yours are a little more important right now.
No. We're all important. But yeah, things have been good. It's just like, you know what it might be? And I know I keep harping on this, but like turning 30,
Dude.
I feel like it's how I'm handling this current thing, which like we all have shit that goes on with our family, whether it's your siblings, whether it's your cousins, your aunt, uncle, mom, dad, whatever it is, grandparents, like we all have like little blips and like you can either choose to just like ignore it and brush it under the rug, which is how my brother handles everything. And I've always been someone who like really needs to vocalize how I feel, even if it's just for me.
No, but
And so-
especially if it's just for you.
Yeah. So
That's
I'm
what
like,
I'm trying to learn.
That's how I've always been. Like since I was a kid, I've always been like, no, I don't like that. Like I want to talk about that. Whereas like Shane's like, that's just how they are. And I'm like, no, like I want to talk about that. So it's so funny because like I'll complain to Shane. He's just like, nah.
You're like,
But I
wrong
also
crowd.
respect it. No,
Yeah.
I really do. I'm like, I think that's a really like nice way to live also. Like they're both just different
And
ways to
also,
handle
what's
conflict.
interesting is with your sibling, because they clearly grew up with the same situation. If you grew up together, like me and Ashley handle things differently too. But it's interesting seeing like between a brother and a sister and 2 sisters, because I'm like, how much is him being blasé
So blasé.
because he's a guy versus I would also say Ashley's kind of blasé about a lot of things. But she's older and Shane's young. So it's interesting, like comparing
I think
dynamics.
it's just like, I wouldn't say moral compass, but just like, I don't know. Yeah, what you choose for yourself. I was talking to one of my family members about like how Shane and I are different. And she just goes, yeah, Shane just like chose a peaceful life and I chose violence. But that's okay. Cause like I sleep better at night knowing that I expressed how I felt.
No wonder you haven't been sleeping well.
Oh my God.
Because you're stressed.
Oh, you're so right.
You have a lot going on.
I need to go to a spa.
Say less.
Filming TikToks, moving.
Filming TikToks at the spa.
No, overall,
No, they're
though,
going to say, hey guys, come with us to a spa day.
the wee spa. We should go. I would love to go. Overall, though, things are really good. I like don't want to. My parents and I are totally fine, by the way. We'll be fine. But I just, I don't know. More times in my life, also, I would have chosen whether it's my parents or like somebody. I'm always just like, not always, but like sometimes I'm like, it's fine. Enough time has passed where I'm not going to say anything. But right now, I'm like, I want to say something, and
No, I
I'm going to
love
say
that.
something.
Also, I think there is a time and place for being the bigger person. I think that's something I always used to like pride myself on growing up. But then I realized I'm not necessarily, this isn't always the case, but there was a lot of times I wasn't necessarily being the bigger person. I was just not comfortable vocalizing what my thoughts were or opinions. So I thought higher of myself. So I'm like, I'm the
I
better
was going to
person.
say that's a slippery slope.
Yeah. Versus being like, oh, I'm actually just communicating and vocalizing my needs and what I feel. And
sure.
that's not, you know what I mean?
I
So-
did that too so much in like
Yeah.
my teenage years, early 20s. I feel like I'd be like, well, I'm the bigger person. I'm this, that, until I finally realized like, oh, even with friendship breakups, I feel like for so long I'd be like, they did me wrong, this, until I hit an age where I was like, wait, takes two to tango. Yes, you might have felt like yes, maybe they did hurtful things, but I'm sure they felt hurt by you as well. And like, in the end, that friendship just wasn't working, and that's okay. But like, also you need to take accountability for what you did wrong as well.
As we were talking right now, I'm like, do I even believe in being the bigger person? Because I'm like, obviously each other usually thinks that. You know what I mean? Like, is it just something you tell yourself? I guess it is situational.
That's what I've always wondered, actually.
Because like, let's say an ex-best friend of mine to this day would probably, if they were sitting here, they'd probably be like, yeah, I was being the bigger. They were being the bigger person.
I think about that a lot.
So it's like, and granted, again, it's so circumstantial, but I'm like,
you know what? I think in some scenarios, I'm sure with the friendship breakup, maybe there were times where I was the bigger person, quote unquote. And there were definitely times where the other person was, quote unquote, being the bigger person as well. It's not like an overarching only one person's the bigger person. I think it's like also it takes a lot of situations for most people to break up a friendship. Yeah. It's not just a one thing. I mean, some people do that. Sometimes it's one thing and they're like, I'm done. Yeah. But I mean, for me, any friendship breakup I had, it was like a lot of instances where it's like, okay, I think this isn't working out, whether it was dramatic or not.
I think it all also comes down to love languages because maybe someone thinks they're being the bigger person by, you know, writing a letter or like, having one final talk where they put it all out on the table and they're like, well, I'm being the bigger person because I'm putting it out there. And then another person would be like, well, I'm being the bigger person because I'm not even going to bring it up. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God.
Or also what I learned too is like how people communicate. Like someone might think that writing a letter and like reading it out to this person is like very good. And it might be good for them and cathartic for them, but the other person might not do well and might be overwhelmed by getting a letter and be like, I need time to process this, but then you're not going to get anywhere if you're not understanding of each other's communication styles. For
and
sure.
once you understand it, it's so much easier.
For sure. Also, this is one thing, bigger person's conversation, I don't know. And like, I don't know if we'll ever know, but I will say I do believe in the idea that there are three sides to every story. One person's side, the other person's side, and the truth. And that's what I think is factual.
I think so too.
So, and that honestly, like I find solace in that whenever I do have conflict with anybody, I'm like, their truth is their truth. My truth is my truth, but there is actually the real truth.
I think what's also helped in any situation like that is I feel like having the mentality of saying like, well, this is my perspective of this situation, or this is from my like I just said that this morning on a call. I was like, hey, from my POV, this is what I thought. Yeah. Please, like,
I love you taught me that.
I love it because it's less like you did this and it's more like, hey, like this is from my POV.
This is how it looked to me.
This is how it looked, whether that was your intentions or not. Yeah. I was on a business call this morning and I was like, just letting you know, this was my POV. Yeah. But like, and that
correct
could
me
be
if I'm
wrong. Yeah, that could be wrong.
Yeah.
But like, please, like, feel free to, and then usually, you know, but yeah, I've liked that a lot.
No, I've picked that up from you where you're always like, whether you're having a conversation with a family member or a friend or anything, you're always like, let me get you inside my head. Or a business call. It's like, let me get you inside my head. This is what it looks like to me. And it's, which I like better than being like, you did this. Because it's like, from my point of view, you did this. Yeah. But correct me if I'm wrong. If you like intended it a different way, or if you actually did it a different way, this is just how I'm perceiving it.
Oh my God, are we so wise? Like what? Pretty basic therapy.
I hope so.
I would have paid for this years ago.
But like, isn't it cool that we're sitting here this many years later? I'm sure when we started this podcast, I was like, I'm always the bigger person.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's one thing I love about having doing this for so long is like acknowledging that you can grow and change from perspectives, or like, I feel like I was so immature in a lot of situations and I had I still have bad communication. It's gotten so much better. But even back then, like I couldn't even come to you if I felt a certain way about anything. I could barely even tell you if I liked someone. You know what I mean? I'd be like, oh yeah, I think that guy's cute. Like we're at the bar and you're like, who's cute? And I'm like, I don't know. Like I'd be like so like anxious about it. I'd be like, oh my God, I'm not used to this.
What do you think got you to be more confident in yourself and in like the ability to say those things now?
I think honestly, she's sitting right here next to me.
Oh my God, wait, really?
Yeah, I think you showed me that like it's not a big deal to like voice stuff. Oh. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I know.
I thought you were going to say just like
therapy or shit.
Well, therapy, I think also just that like too. Loving yourself too and like and getting older and knowing yourself more. But yeah. Thank you.
No, yeah, especially then I was like, oh, like
you've taught me to be a much softer person in the best ways too. Because I didn't realize like I can be very abrasive.
Wait, that was... That was me with when I did like I was like really into the Enneagram. It's a personality test. I was like, oh, I'm just like the normal level of competitive. And then I learned that like my personality number or like the one I got is the most competitive. And I was like, oh, I thought everyone else was just out to get me behind their back. Like I truly was like, oh,
Wait, really?
I thought that was a universal, like everyone feels competitive over things. Like I thought that was normal. And then there's you who's like not competitive.
I've
at
never
all.
felt a bit of competition in my life.
And then I was like, oh, like that's
That's
a problem. And it's just
funny.
like nice to be aware that like, oh, Alisha, like not everyone thinks that way.
But I do think like being competitive is a good thing. There are
Yeah.
so many things that I'm like, I wish I cared. I wish I cared. But so I think it's a beautiful thing. And like, that's why competitions exist.
yeah.
For sure.
But for me, what the problem was I always saw it more as like me being competitive with myself, which like obviously can like be, I mean, I guess with other people or yourself can be bad too. But I feel like my like self, I'd always be like, oh, you piece of shit, like do better kind of vibe.
Yeah.
So I feel like that would us. Hi, we're doing a Q&A. I will say I skimmed some of the questions.
27 minutes.
We skimmed some of the questions and I actually think we've hit a lot of these. There's
thank
like
God.
friendship, right? Let's just like say some of them.
Okay, yes, it is.
Best and worst things about mixing friendships with business.
Ooh.
We kind of talked about that.
I will say, yeah, we talk about that I feel like in every Q&A. And I don't know if I have like a best and worst list. I mean, best thing, we share a bank account. So it's really fun to go shopping. I'm being honest.
I know you're being honest.
No, it's so fun. We're like, PB.
I think what me, your PR person, what she means to say is that we've been able to grow in so many ways together as friends as well as business partners. And we've learned so many business ventures together, such as managing monthly budgeting.
Just know it's not like we do it all the time. It's like once in a blue moon. We're like, oh my God, this is so fun. Like a PB excursion. So let me put it that way.
No, I know what you mean.
Another thing is, and we've always said this, because we do this podcast so much, obviously, having a business together and being best friends, we definitely, like, we never want to come in and record when we're having a bit of a tiff or having some resentment or like something's building. So it does force us to like face these things head on much quicker. Like we can't let things fester and we can't let things go and brush things under the rug.
It's good to be like, okay, well, if we're recording next week, like in the end, we want it to be good before then. And not that the podcast is over our friendship, more in a way of like, because of our friendship, we want to make sure that like everything is good with us first, then secondary can be work stuff. But yeah, I'm very grateful for that because I think it'd be very hard if we were like, we'll talk like, I don't know.
After the pod. Like we always talk like before the pod and then we're always like really happy.
Yeah. And we're like, I feel so refreshed and like good about everything. Or also like, I feel like there's always been, I can be like a avoidant type person. So if I don't have quote, like not like a deadline, it's just really hard for me to bring something up. I never want to ruin someone's mood or like make like it like, awkward or anything like that. So if I can push it, I will, even though that's not the best thing, but that's just me, which doesn't shock anyone probably to my anxiety. But having like oh shit, well, if we're working together on this day, like I want to make sure it's good.
I think also from what we've discovered is like you often feel like you burden people with your problems and with like no problem you could ever have would ever be a burden. Nothing that you would ever bring to the table could be a burden. So it's like good to talk about those things. I mean, we all have our little things for sure, but I'm like, it's such a good thing that we are not forced to, but kind of forced to talk about those things. And like, and it's been such a beautiful thing, but it's also not that I put it in the worst category, but it is challenging for sure. And like, it's taken us a long time to get here.
I feel like the first few times it was more of a like, it was more like really scary. I think for me, it's specifically really fucking good to have like okay, shit, I have to deal with this. And not in a I have to deal with this, more of a like, just like, okay, you can't put this off. You have to like, you can't put this on the back burner. Like this is important. You have to talk about it.
We keep talking about also, and this is something that I'm learning, especially like in a relationship and getting ready to be married. And
sorry, real quick. Everything else you were saying at the beginning of the pod of like how you're doing, I'm like also add in like getting married. Like that's a huge,
not even a wedding, which is like wedding. It's like you're getting married and like
there's a
you need
lot.
to strap the
You're
fuck in.
You're in a huge transitional time right now.
Thank you.
It's not just turning 30. It's like the whole next chapter of your life, honestly.
Cal and I are going to start premarital counseling also.
I love it.
Which honestly, Cal and I have zero problems. Like I'm being so honest. Like it is such a healthy relationship and we're very good at communicating. But I do think it's very just important in general. But again, for any couple.
Yes. And I think that's even, not that it's even better to go in for that. I think it's like, again, my best therapy sessions are when I don't think I have anything to talk about, because then you can get to root problems versus just not band-aids, but like, oh, like they hurt my feelings this time. And I think it's like, I'm so for counseling even when you're good. Like, I think it's best.
For sure. And I've like realized that growing up, and again, what I was saying earlier is like everything stems from childhood. The house that I grew up in and how we handle conflict is, I thought that's how everyone handled conflict until you realize as you get older, oh my God, everybody handles conflict very differently. And Cal and I came from the most opposite sort of dealing with conflict. You and Cal are very similar, and I'm from a very different background. And one is not better than the other. It's just understanding that like, oh, not everybody deals in this way. Not everybody is able to be as vocal about how they feel or what's bothering them. Like it takes people sometimes longer, or maybe what I'm saying is like, it comes out too abrasively. So I've been really working on that and like understanding how people want you to communicate and how people will react better to your communication.
I think you nailed it with like, that's how more mature or adult friendships, relationships are, where it's less of like, I need this from you, and more of like, oh, how do you need this from me?
For sure.
So even though I am let me sit and process this forever, I'm like, well, Remi actually would appreciate me to be more prompt with like how I feel about things, because that helps you better versus me being like, yeah, 4 weeks ago you said this. You'd be like, well, what? Because we've been there like years ago.
But I also like have understood now that you need more time to process. And so
maybe a week.
Which I was gonna, maybe we could find like a happy medium between the two of like, we both feel heard and seen and soothed, but also no one's having to completely like drop how they are for the other person, because that's how more animosity builds.
And then again, opposites attract for a reason, because clearly like it's just funny that like I grew up where, not that you don't solve conflict, but like we don't really talk about, like Ashley and I, like she's never yelled at me in her life, which is crazy. I've yelled at her. But that just goes with our personalities. But like even that was probably like twice in my life. Like it's like we just like if one of us annoys each other, we just become passive and we'll just like push it down and like deal with it, and like we'll get over it. Like we're just like we're more like Shane in that way. Like whatever, I'll be over it eventually. Yeah. Like I'll be like, ugh. Anyways, what do you want for dinner? Like it's like so weird. We're so weird. But that's
like
also
sisters.
But
too.
It's also not healthy. Like in many ways I can list off. So it's like it's interesting. It's just funny how opposites.
Oh, I came from a family where it's like you are upset, you get it out, and then you're like fine right after. But like that is not how you guys are.
Right, and like, I also understand. So you want nothing to do with me? We're no longer friends. Okay, perfect. Like that's how which is so I hate it. Which again, going back to your question of like how'd you get over it? I feel like having a friend where I realize like, oh, I can voice what I think and it's not going to be the end of the world, or like I can like be mad and frustrated but still love someone at the same time. Like I think that was also and like know that the other person still cares. I think that was such a weird like thing for me.
For sure. Yeah, you talked about that the other day of how with other friendships, if you got into a fight, you would think like, oh, we're not friends anymore.
And well, usually because it ended in us not being friends anymore.
Yeah.
Which like now I can like, again, I thought I was being the bigger person. I was like, oh, I like couldn't voice anything. Yeah. Like I would like just stuff it down.
But I understand how, if that's how you felt, then it's like a ticking time bomb. Like anything that you're saying could
it almost felt like a curse. Yes. It almost felt like a curse of like, oh, well, whenever I do say what I feel, like they're going to leave.
I've had friendships where you feel like everything, you're walking on eggshells constantly. And that is not good for you.
It's also not fair though to that person.
Also I was going to say, for that person to feel that, they must have fucking hated me. Yeah. You know what I mean?
No, like it sucks to
we just weren't compatible.
Yeah, but yeah, it's all communication. It's so cliche, and everyone says like the key to good relationships is communication, and they say that for a reason.
Yeah. But communication isn't easy. It's like, again, everybody has different styles, and I'm understanding that. I was like, oh, we solve conflict right now, here and now, and like that's it, and then we're good after. But it's like no, like some people need to process and feel things, and that's okay. And like that's healthier, honestly.
The amount of like I will have fights in my head with people, and then I'll be good, and I'm like I just need to get that out. But I'm like, or I couldn't like it's so bad. Like it's so bad. I've gotten so much better. It's like, you know how they say anxiety, you worry about it twice before it happens and when it happens. Yeah. It's like the same thing. That concept is the same thing, but when you don't voice your feelings, because then you're sitting with that hatred, and that person has no idea. They're like la-di-da. No. And then I'm over here like being Mr. Scrooge or whatever, and then just like deteriorating inside because I'm like, oh my God. And then they like maybe look at me weird one day and I'm like, what is happening? I'm like, and then I'm like, I have all my receipts. Like, they probably just had a flinch. I don't know.
I think also when you do hold things in and have like the fights in your brain, then whatever you like, you need to do what soothes you, but then you
That
can't
doesn't
blame the
soothe
other
me.
person
Yeah.
if they do it again because you didn't express it.
Oh no.
And there's a right way to express it. That's like, it's
Yes.
like so many step after step after
There
step.
is. And I think the biggest thing though is like being self-aware enough to realize like, hey, even though like to realize one, not everyone works this way. I think that's the first block you come to as you get older is like, oh, the way my family was raised and I was raised, not everyone is raised that way. So then you come to that. And then you also come to like, okay, well, even though I don't like this about me, it's important for me to tell my loved ones that like, hey, this is what I need. Like, this is something that I need. Like, please help me. You know, like, hey, Rem, I suck at vocalizing. Like, if you could ask me questions or something, like that would help me. You know
Which
what I mean?
we've started doing now, like
Yes.
more check-ins instead of
Yeah.
like something happening like one time, a big blow up. It's like, hey, how are we? Are we good?
Yeah. Hey, and it's so interesting. And I don't know. I just feel so grateful having like a mature friendship because I feel like there's been times where I hadn't. And then I always think of you. I've probably sent this to you because I'm that friend who sends friends like so many reels and TikToks.
I
and
love
like
them.
I don't expect a reply, but like I'm just like, hee.
I always reply
You
because
do, you do.
I do. I appreciate you thinking of me. I do.
But there's the one where it's like no one talks enough about adult friendships. The one after like the big friendship like blow up that you never thought you'd get over, and then you like have a mature adult friendship, or the one that's with you through college, through the rest of like more.
Me cry.
No, literally, and I'm like, it's so true because like obviously it didn't work out with other friends in the past, but I learned from that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And it's the same thing with dating. Like obviously, like it sucks for it not to work out with someone, but like you learn so much from things. And oh my god, again, PB therapy is just so wise today. I'm actually going to therapy tomorrow.
I love it.
Yeah.
Wait, what's today?
Wednesday?
No, today's Tuesday. I'm going the day after.
Wait,
tomorrow.
sorry, I'm going Thursday because I don't know my days.
It was the holiday.
I'm
Okay.
going Thursday.
Next question. What's our favorite food? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. We go for something
your
so
favorite
deep
color?
to something really light. No, I love that. I think that we should do that more often.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, both of us were like, normally I feel like we're good because
Yeah.
we usually are good, but like things have been not as great lately, and that's life. Oh my God, I never updated everybody. My brain cyst is the same size, 1.1 centimeters, everybody. So we're good. Everything's good.
Celine.
Oh, yeah, we named her Celine the cyst. She's up here. I looked into it, and if you do have a pineal cyst or pineal cyst, whatever it's called, it does affect your memory, and my memory has gotten so bad. So I'm blaming it all on Celine.
Well, I wish I don't wish, but like at least you have
I
an
wish
excuse.
I had a pineal cyst.
Maybe I have one. No, I just
You
like
might.
I might, but like at least you have an excuse.
We MRI together.
No, literally holding hands, beep, 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 and an open one. Beep.
No, but with the fucking brain thing on, the head cast, skull cast.
I haven't gotten one. I don't know what an MRI is like. I mean, I know what it's like. I've just never done it myself.
It's crazy that we are so technologically advanced, yet I still have to go into this giant machine with my head in a cast, and I have to sit there for 20 minutes while it's dong, 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 dong.
Wait.
beep, 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 beep.
Have you seen when like Ash just sent me this reel literally yesterday, like of a fish getting, it was either a CT scan or an MRI.
No.
It was so cute. They had it in a sponge
Have
sitting
you
upright. It was so cute.
What kind of fish? Was it like a goldfish?
I don't know. No. It was like kind of a big fish. And I'm like, I don't wonder why they did that.
I did see that.
It's so cute.
He's a beautiful fish.
Beautiful.
Looks like an
angelfish receiving a CT scan at the Denver Zoo.
Oh,
He looks so happy.
Oh, he's at the zoo.
He's at the zoo. The little fish was on a health treatment plan and is now back to swimming in its home. He's literally in like a big Tupperware thing. And then on a blanket, there's like this big sponge that they sliced open, and he's sitting there just like a taco.
And you know what? It's probably moist to keep him
Yeah,
hydrated.
so he's like fine. That's so cute.
That's definitely a CT. You said CT.
CT,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's definitely a
'cause
CT.
it's pretty big.
The
That makes
CT was
sense.
amazing. CT was so easy. The MRI, so much worse.
Oh, dang. I'm sorry. But I'm so glad
Oh,
Celine
good.
is fine and
Celine
good.
is good. And I forgot to update everybody, but thank you so much for all of your prayers.
I'm happy for you.
Thank you so much.
Welcome. You know those days where you just can't seem to get out of a funk? Well, I've been there more times than I'd like to admit. I also have just been waking up exhausted, and it was totally ruining my productivity for the day. And the longer it took me to fall asleep at night, the more stress I'd get about being exhausted the next day, and then I would sleep in. And it was just this never-ending cycle of tossing and turning and then dragging myself through the next day. But you guys, I found something that's been a total game changer for me: magnesium breakthrough. Seriously, it has completely turned things around for me, from winding down at the end of a crazy day to actually getting a full night's sleep. Magnesium breakdown has been the key. I can finally relax, fall asleep faster, and wake up feeling refreshed instead of groggy. What makes magnesium breakthrough so special? Unlike other magnesium supplements that only give you 1 or 2 forms, this one has all 7 forms of magnesium that your body needs. That's right, all 7. And trust me, it makes a huge difference. Over 75% of people are actually magnesium deficient. And even if you're taking a supplement, you might still be missing out on some of the essential forms. But with Magnesium Breakthrough, you're covered. Magnesium is responsible for over 600 different biochemical reactions in our bodies. It promotes healthy sleep, supports stress management, and even keeps your heart and bones strong. If I need to wind down and get ready for bed, I'll usually take 2 capsules about 30 minutes before I hit the pillow. But if I'm looking for a little brain boost or stress support during the day, I'll take 1 or 2 capsules on an empty stomach in the morning, and I am loving it. For an exclusive offer, head over to bioptimizers.com/prettybasic and use the promo code prettybasic during checkout to save 10%. And if you subscribe, not only will you get an amazing discounts and free gifts, but you'll also make sure your monthly supply is guaranteed. Nurture your mind and body with this all-natural full spectrum magnesium supplement. Again, just go to bioptimizers.com/prettybasic and use Pretty Basic to save 10%. Trust me, you're going to love it.
Next question, even though the first question was 45 minutes. How do you, it's another 45 minutes.
Yeah.
How do you put yourself back out there after your long-term relationship ended?
Oof. This is the advice that I wish someone just sat me down and gave me, because I think for years, and I wish I wasn't exaggerating. Oh, no, sorry, I'm not exaggerating. I wish I was exaggerating. I think for years, I expected to find someone who I felt with right off the bat, how I felt at the end of my long-term relationship, because I was waiting for not necessarily that spark, because you can get a spark early on anyway. But I think I wrote off a lot of people because I was like, oh, well, I still liked my ex so much better, or I was like in love with my ex versus, and like, you can't compare someone who you were in love with to like a guy you just met. Like, it's not fair to, because obviously I didn't feel that way about my ex in the very beginning. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I only have one long-term relationship that I got out of versus like dating someone who I don't know that well. Like, so I feel like I just wish, I wish someone sat me down and was just like, just go on dates. Like, don't compare anything to your last relationship. And also, like, even now when people are like, what's your type? I'm like, well, this is like what I think my type is. However, like, it may have changed. And also on top of that, like, I'm not opposed to like anything. I think it's so easy to be like, oh, like, I don't know, be so rigid about certain things.
I feel like I did the same thing. I've never been in a long-term relationship, except for Cal, but like outside of Cal. But there was one guy that I was like so into for the wrong reasons. But I do think when you end something amicably or not, honestly, like, even if it didn't end up well, I do feel like you remember a lot of the good things or what you think are the good things, and then you take that into everybody else moving forward.
Yeah.
Even like with Cal, I was dating him for a few months and I still was like, oh my God, but like the other guys were like this and that. I'm like, get out of, don't compare people. Everybody's different. You would hate, granted it's easier said than done, but you would hate if someone was sitting there comparing you to somebody else. It is human nature and it is just a part of dating and things, but it took me a little while to like get out of that headspace.
Especially after the honeymoon phase where you're like, oh, okay. Like, it's I don't know. I think don't compare. Don't worry about a timeline. I know everyone's so focus on timelines and stuff, but like, don't worry about that. And even for someone like me who overthinks like crazy to where like it makes me more paralyzed where I don't do things or just like frozen. I wish I wouldn't and this may be toxic advice, but if you're like me, this is good advice to like not worry about the future. Like, don't worry about, I'm not gonna say the repercussions, but like just go and live life. And then if something happens, deal with it later versus someone like me who I'm like, I'll meet someone, we date, we've already fought in my head and broke up in my head versus like before even just like being fucking friends with them. Like it's so bad. And that's why I hate dating and small talk and shit because I'm aware that I do that. And again, sometimes I wish I wasn't so fucking aware because then I would be able to like just think everyone else was the problem and not me. But clearly I'm sitting here being like, oh, this is something I need to work on. Like it's okay just to be present in like relationships and friendships and then see where things go and just let what's going to happen versus like overthinking to where you don't do anything. Cause I wish someone just shook Alisha.
That sounds exhausting.
Bitch slap me.
Maybe would this make it easier if you went and started to overthink about whatever, whether it's dating or in general, like you start to overthink. I guess this is more applying to dating, but if you were to go on a date and overthink, if you were to flip the switch and think like, oh, if they were thinking that about me, I wouldn't like that right now. Like, would that help you at all, you think?
Wow, to think of someone else other than me. I'm just kidding. No, like I think that's the thing with anxiety is you're never present. So I think that's why I was saying like being present helps, of just being like, just focus on focus on being friends, focus on like finding a connection. It doesn't have to be like, I know it's better to date, I guess, looking for marriage, but I think that has actually made me more like scared because it's like so like
serious.
So serious. So but like a commitment, again, being more of a avoidant type, I'm like, just like fucking be in the present and like who cares if you get your heart broken, but yeah, like it's just life. Like just like figure shit out, you know?
Let ride the wave. I remember when I first started dating Cal and things started to get kind of serious, I got freaked out too. I was like, oh, I don't actually know if I want this. This is like a lot. This is a big commitment. I was just like, yeah, like, I don't know. And I remember I called my aunt and she was like, Remi, calm down. It's not like you're going to marry the guy. And which is so funny because obviously I'm going to marry the guy. But for like a very long time, I was like, she's so right. Like, why am I thinking so far ahead? I'm 24. Like, I'm having fun. So you're not going to marry the guy.
Exactly.
And if you do, amazing. And if you don't, that's fine.
But then if I do, I'm going to be like, remember that time on Pretty Basic where I was like, I'm not going to marry him, but I should have listened to what I was thinking back then. Well, I'm kidding. This is me going and like, it's just, we're just talking it through. Hate my brain.
Also, this is like to each their own, but I personally think it's easier to get over someone by getting under someone else. But also, if you don't want to do that, that's fine. Just like talking to new people and like having people on a roster or whatever it is that you want, like distractions are good.
My favorite thing ever is like when people are like, oh, you dating anyone, or like what's new? I'm like, oh my God, so this guy, blah, 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 blah. And I'm aware that it's not even drama, but I'm like, no, I just like having drama to talk about.
Oh,
like,
I love boy drama.
I'm just like, oh my God. And then he said this and I'm like, what the hell? Like, ew. And then they're like, so you don't like him? I'm like, no, that's not what I'm telling you. Like, I'm just telling you that I have drama.
Yeah. Because it's like, it sucks, but it's also like so fun.
No, it's fun because it's girlhood. I had one friend be like, oh, I just don't think you like him. I was like, no, you're not hearing me.
I obviously don't like him.
Yeah, I'm like, no. But what if I do?
Yeah, then you get defensive.
Next question, which I saw you post this on your story, so this is good. It was like, Rem, any update with the dogs? Are they still fighting?
Update. I'll make it short and sweet. Thank you so much to everybody for praying and for wishing for the girls to get better. They did. Yeah. Things are so good. Long story short, I read a couple books. If you guys are interested in it, a lot of people go through similar things. I've gotten so many DMs from people about this subject, and I read a couple books, so I'll link them down below for you guys if you want. But they're just basically, in my research, I found out that actually what I thought was aggression, which I mean was actual real physical aggression, anxiety in dogs can manifest in different ways. It can manifest in aggression. It can manifest in other things. And so once I found that out, which I do wish the vets had told me that, it's okay. I went to the vets and I was like, hi, I actually think it might be anxiety. I think that they're both just incredibly anxious dogs. And I think it's over territory, it's over me, it's over whatever it may be, whatever triggers them for the day. And so we got both the dogs on anxiety medication. Everyone's medicated. Woo! And so, and like, it doesn't shorten their lifespan. It's like totally fine for them to be on. And ever since they've both been medicated, everything has been so good. Little did I know that was probably just what was causing the aggression. And so things have been a lot safer for the dogs, most importantly, safer for Cal and I. And yeah, I mean, everything's been good.
Yeah, dude. It was bad for a second.
It was
I truly was about to go over there and like
Luna'd be gone one day.
I would have like seriously like helped you find another home, because I was like, look, obviously no one wants that, and I know you would never want that to ever happen, but I was like, especially getting married, me thinking in the future, I'm like, when you have kids one day, like what's gonna happen? You know what I mean? Like we gotta
well, a kid can't get caught in that crossfire. No, it was crazy, but things are better. I'll link the books below. So talk to your vet if you guys are if you have a pet who's maybe being aggressive. There's a big chance that it is anxiety. So all is better. Thank you for asking.
Yay.
What is your favorite thing about each other, and what is your biggest ick about each other?
Not me having an ick come to me right away. I'm so sorry.
Lay it on me, girl. Lay it on me.
You already know, so you're not going to be triggered by it.
Okay.
You guys, anytime I'm in the car with Remi or we're watching YouTube videos, she cannot finish anything. it will be 30 seconds in new. And I'm like, I was watching that.
I have the attention span of a squirrel.
No, I know. And then it'll always go back to like the aquarium something. And I'm like, so you want to watch that?
But I've gotten better
You have.
because you've made me very insecure about it. And I'm very aware when I watch things, even if I want to change it, I'm like, nope, keep watching.
I'll be like so into someone's morning routine. And then she's like, anyways, and then switches. I'm like, oh, I was like, we were only a minute in.
I don't think I've ever just sat and watched a YouTube video.
Oh my
God. I
God.
need to be doing my makeup, cleaning my room, eating. Like I have to be doing something while watching YouTube specifically.
So I specifically, like, if we're at your place and we're watching YouTube, like I'm aware that like I'm gonna watch some of those videos later when I go home. But it's fine because I'm also like, I would never want you to watch something you don't want to watch.
I really tried to get better though.
You have.
I'm actively fighting it in me.
It's also
to
not something
change
that
it.
bothers me enough to like next time it happens, don't be like, oh no.
Or
Like
even
literally,
like the board game.
yeah.
I'm trying to get better.
That was years ago. Oh my
but
God.
I never did that again because
And you never did.
she held me accountable. Okay, what's an ick I have for you?
I have to say something I love about you.
Oh,
after
okay.
that.
I forgot.
I mean, there's so many things. Like honestly, you're just like genuinely like, no matter how much shit you have going on, like you will still make it about me. I didn't mean it like that. I meant it like you're such a good friend that like, even though like your world could be crashing down and burning and you'll still be like, but how are you? And I'm like, oh my God, if it was reversed, I wouldn't even be able to think of other people breathing.
Aww.
If my world was, not that your world's crashing down, but like, I think you're so generous and so aware of other people, even if you're like hanging on by a thread. And I think that's such a strength because to me, I'm like, oh my God.
That makes me happy because I feel like that's a conscious thought I have to like continue to show up for people no matter what's going on in my life. Like I never want a friend to feel like I'm not there. So that means so much that you
oh my
think
God,
that
the amount of times I'm like, you can cancel. I'm like, hey, like I'm chilling. Like, please, like this is not important.
You're
in
at
the
home.
grand.
I hope she cancels. I hope she cancels. I hope she cancels.
No. I'm just always like, oh my God, you have so much on your plate. Like it's okay to like take time for you.
I appreciate that. And like when you text me those things, no one ever says that to me. So thank you so much. I'm like, oh, I have one person that I know.
Yes, we have a dinner scheduled. It's okay.
I appreciate it. Thank
what
you.
matters?
My ick about, I'm just kidding.
Start low and high.
Sandwich. My ick about you,
This is such a good question.
just that you leave your trash everywhere.
I knew you were going to say that.
That's just my one that I have.
That is also one where I actively like, so you know how much I leave it?
Yeah.
Just realize how much more I get rid of it because I'm aware. So that means like.
That means a lot.
That means I try,
Yeah.
but I just don't fulfill it.
That's okay. It's not a friendship ending for sure.
But I will say, to my defense, you'll start cleaning up before like you're done eating. So I'm like, oh, I was gonna get it.
Okay.
Or my trash pile. Like her and Ollie love making fun of me, especially if we're ever at a hotel. I'll have a trash pile.
But the trash can is a foot away from said trash pile.
But that's ADHD for you. I'm like, no, that's my trash pile. And then I will throw that away.
But why can't the trash pile go in the trash
because
can?
Because to me, I see it as that is the trash pile. So I'm being productive. Like, I'm like, oh.
It's better than.
Yeah, like if I, versus everywhere, I'll be overwhelmed cleaning later. So I'm like, if I make a trash pile, then it'll be easier for me to obviously put all that trash in the trash. But I see how from anyone else's POV, all they see is trash. But I'm like, no, it's my trash
You know
pile.
what? It is respectful that it's in a pile rather than scattered. And I will give that to you.
But will I throw shit into the pile? Yes.
And eventually, I feel like you do put it in the trash can.
I do, but
yes.
knowing you would love it.
I think I get it there. I get it to the trash can before you can get to
or
the trash
I'll be
can.
like eating and then you're like picking up. I'm like, oh wait.
No, my favorite trash pile incident was just watching you, and you would just, your trash pile was behind you. So you were just throwing shit behind you in a corner. I was like, trash cans right there. Right, trash cans in front of you, you're throwing it behind you, girl. But that's like another little thing that I love about you.
Some would say quirk.
It's funny that you said before that you used to view everybody as like trying to compete with you. That was a really funny thing you said. Because I do know when we first met, you were like that. And
but I really wasn't with you though.
You're like, you're so far beneath me. It wasn't even a fucking
I keep
competition.
saying shit that makes me sound horrible.
Maybe other people were competing with you, so you felt that way.
I never got the energy of you that I couldn't trust you. Where I feel like other people, I'd be like, ooh, I don't fully trust them. Like, are they only friends for me for my best interest? So it's competitive.
Yes.
Versus I feel like I actually felt a genuine friendship with you. That's what my PR meant to say. My PR, my publicist. I don't have one. My publicist.
I was gonna say, well, I do. No. But I do think you apply this to like everybody in your life. But obviously, speaking from firsthand experience, you're the most supportive friend who shows up for literally everybody. So hearing that was funny, and we've talked about that. So obviously, I knew like at one point you had that sort of thought process with other people, but like whether that's gone forever or just it's with certain people, like you are the most supportive friend that shows up for everybody, especially me, and literally anyway, even in this wedding planning stuff, like even though you don't even know if you're in the bridal party yet.
I don't know. And I would never, even if I wasn't, I wouldn't be sad.
Yeah.
I mean, I would, but not in that way.
Every time we go to like try on a dress or something, all the people are like, oh, like, are you in the bridal party? And she goes, I don't know. But like, you'll drop anything to come with me so I'm not alone, or bridal stuff aside, literally anything. Like, you are always just the most supportive friend in the world.
Well, thank you. But I'm okay. The other day we went somewhere. I'm not going to say where, and I'm not going to say what we purchased, but we did purchase something for the wedding.
Yes.
And it was so last minute, like, yeah, do you want to come? No pressure. And I was like, bitch, duh. And then I was like, imagine if I wasn't here, you'd be buying this by yourself. That's so, not that it's sad, because it's like, it's not sad, but I'm like, I would want someone there with me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's exciting.
Well, I appreciate that. But also like when we've gone like 20 times, like it's not as exciting anymore.
Okay,
so I understand.
no, because I was just going to film TikToks. Like, hello.
Me with my tripod in the corner.
You forcing me to do 2 TikToks that day.
We got our content.
And I got my TikTok. No, I'm kidding. But that's so funny. I think a lot of the competitive shit I just outgrew, because a lot of it was a deep-rooted, we love therapy, was a deep-rooted issue of me not feeling good enough on my own without my work. So then that was a huge thing.
I mean, we talked about that so much at the beginning of this podcast. And like, that's not you at all anymore. At all.
But in some ways, I'm like, Alisha, be psycho again.
Unleash your inner psycho.
Unleash your inner psycho. I was like, I used to be so good. I'd upload so much. But granted.
But then we burnt out.
I know. And she probably wasn't that pleasant to be around.
No, you were fun. Me choking on the word fun.
You were fun.
No, you were so fun. But I do thank you. And we would always talk about like, we want you to find your worth in other things. And you did.
Yeah.
And you did.
So it's nice. But in some ways I'm like, Alisha, you should try a little harder. A little harder.
No, because think about how when you were sitting on this, well, we were in a different studio, but like years ago, you're like, I just want to care less. You got here. So celebrate that.
You're so right.
Celebrate that.
So let's go back.
Same with Momo and Luna. Or
Yes.
what are their names? Luna and Daisy. Same with Luna and Daisy.
Yeah.
Like, yes, right now I wish they could go back to playing and having fun, which they do every once in a while, but they used to play all the time. But I'm like, no. All I ever wanted was for them to stop fighting.
Yeah.
Celebrate this. Mm-hmm. They'll get to playing again one day.
A win is a win.
A win is a win.
They were playing the other day when I was over.
They were. It's just like they used to play like every day, like 5 times a day. Now it's like once every couple days.
Oh, I also feel
we'll
like
get there.
Luna, like hitting the 2-year mark, the dogs become so much more calm. I
We're
think she had
almost
all
there.
that puppy energy.
We're almost there.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Okay, maybe one final question.
Yeah. Wait, I'm dead. Remi, if you could set Alisha up with another influencer, in parentheses, besides Zayn, close parentheses, who would it be? That's funny.
If you were to date a YouTuber or influencer, what kind of content would you like them to make?
I don't care. I feel like you used to always like send me random TikTokers, be like, date him. Date him. Oh, you just sent me one the other day.
There's so many TikTokers that I see, like random TikTok men, that I'm like, oh, he's her type. She would love this.
She would love this.
She would love this. I think it just depends. Like, but here I'm asking because I'm like, but what life do you want? You know what I mean?
See,
like,
but this is where I can't overthink. Like, I wish I could just.
But like, okay, what's your dream scenario? Like, are you wanting to travel a lot? Because then I'll put you with a travel blogger. Are you looking for like eating challenges? Because I'll put you up with my new favorite YouTube guy.
Oh, you're so right. Preferably not eating challenges.
Okay.
Because my self-control is a little like hard sometimes, and like that would have to be hard for me.
Okay.
Travel's great, but I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'm not much of like a backpacking type person. I'm sure that's such a shock to everyone listening. So if we're going to Italy or something like that, down. But like if we're doing like a 12-day backpacking trip up Everest, then like no.
Understood. Okay. I will put you with, well, so like what do you want to do?
I want to like I don't know what I want to do. My life. I want to have kids. I want to lay by the pool. I want to be like the hot mom.
Okay.
I want to be Sierra Furtado.
Okay. I can't think of anybody, but please comment down below who you guys think Alisha should date. I'm really trying to think, you guys.
I got a DM from someone recently and they were like, hey, I'm so sorry if this is weird, but like my brother is single. And I was like, oh my God, send me his info.
Wait, no, I love that.
I know. Ladies, slide in the DMs for any men you know.
I think you should date Austin Swift, and then we can go to every Eras Tour show that we want to go to.
Is he single?
I don't know. Slide in. I think you should date Glenn Powell. Can we call him an influencer? He goes to the Aloe Gym.
I think he would intimidate me a little too much.
Glenn Powell?
Yeah. Because you know why? There'd be these fucking hot models in his DMs and I'd be like, yeah, cool. Okay, I'm literally like,
No.
let's be realistic, Remi. I'm just saying, if the girls in his DMs are fucking supermodels, okay, and then me over here, I'd look like a toe, which like that's fine.
Don't
If he's into toes,
if he's got a foot fetish,
then like me with no makeup with my hair in a bun, done.
But the Japan LA photo.
No, we went to Japan LA and we had
They gave me a sitting Sunny Angel, everybody.
and they were so sweet. The owner was sweet. The social media team was so sweet. And we had a few people come up. It was a Miss Remi Ashton meetup.
Next time I have a meetup, it'll be at Japan LA.
It should. Oh my God. It was so fun and so cute. But we had come from Pilates and I looked rough. And then I was looking through our tagged and here's the thing, like I don't care that much. I'm not someone who's like, oh my God, I can't take a photo with you. I look ugly. Because I'm like, no, this is me.
Yeah,
it's
same.
And I looked through my tagged on Instagram and one of the people we had met posted, and I'm not kidding, y'all. I literally looked at Remi and I go, maybe I should try. Like maybe I should try because I looked so bad, and it was so bad that Rem looked and actually started dying laughing, which means I was right. But do I know I'm beautiful on the inside? Yes.
It really wasn't that bad. It was just the way that you said it, and I was like, you look fine,
no,
and you're like, no.
I'm like, no, like be honest. And then it's like when your mom's like, you're beautiful, and you're like, no, but like be real, be fucking for real. And my glasses were up, so my bangs were just kind of out. I'm sure I can still find it. So it looked like a bowl cut with like a rat tail pony
but your
extension.
ponytail was like kind of cut off too.
Oh my God.
It was just a bad angle.
No makeup, nasty. Like I'm not kidding. I was like, Alisha, try. Like Ashley, when we go to the gym, she'll like spend 10 minutes in the locker room, like brushing her hair, putting face. I'm like, you're already like damn near engaged. Like you're dating someone you have no one to impress. You'd figure I should be the one who like tries. Okay. Wear a hat, at least glasses and a hat. Oh my God. This was actually really sad. Cause the other day I was at the pool and I had glasses and these glasses that are like big aviators and a hat on. And I was like, oh my God, I look so hot. So I was like taking selfies. And then I realized I was like, I'm saying I look hot because I am covering half my face.
That's fine.
No, that's sad,
if you were
Remi.
feeling yourself, no,
that's sad.
Well, also like eye makeup changes everything as it is.
I know, but like, okay, I can't just cover my face and be like, wow, I'm feeling myself.
Yes, you can.
No, and I was like, oh yes. I was like, wait, yes. And then it hit me. Oh, you only see my mouth, like my chin.
Also, like you and I would love to get hot and go to the gym. Like the girls that put their makeup on and go to the gym. Whitney Simmons, Claudia Walsh. No, they look gorgeous, but how do they not break out?
No, remember when I had that gym crush? Like a long time ago.
Oh my God, I forgot about him.
Oh my God, he was so hot. And he was someone I could like picture my life with because like he had such a cool job. Oh my God, I was like, wow, we're gonna be that hot couple. I went from wearing no makeup at the gym, and it was like a small private gym.
Full beat?
Oh, pretty much, bitch. No. Oh yeah, I was like, do. And then God forbid he wasn't there, and I'd be like, I wore this for no fuck. I should have. I was like, I wore this for no reason. And then, but if he was there, if I saw the car, I'd be like, oh, thank God.
Did you break out?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then was it worth it? No.
Acne prone girly.
But you know what? It made me feel something.
He was cute.
He was hot. Mm-hmm. He was really hot and funny.
You should follow up.
No, last I heard he was in a relationship. Sad. And I'm not gonna lie, I did stalk. This was years ago. I stalked, and she was like such a hot girl, and I was like, damn it.
You should. His coworker was my substitute teacher in high school. He was also hot.
Really?
Yes. You should date him.
Me. Hey, you thought you saw the last of me?
You should.
Oh my God.
You should do that.
Wait, I don't even know if he's at the same job. I think he is.
I'm gonna follow up. I'll let you know after.
Anyways, can't wait to have a ring on my finger next week.
Well, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening. Comment down below. Oh yes, an influencer that Alisha should date, or anybody, or if you have a brother.
So she's really desperate. So like anybody works. She's desperate. Like put something.
Okay, we gotta go. Bye.
Bye.